Hi, and welcome to LAMA. In this video, I'm going to show you two useful workflows in LAMA Connect. Firstly, how to connect a Digital Audio Workstation or DAW, and secondly, how to send and receive multi-channel audio using an NDI stream. If you are a beginner to LAMA Connect, we recommend you to watch the first video that covers the basic setup and functions. You will find the link in the description of this video. Let's get started. So firstly, in your DAW, go to your audio device preferences and select LAMA ASIO as the driver. In this example, I'm using Reaper, but other software has a similar setup. The LAMA ASIO driver gives you access to up to 256 input and output channels, allowing high channel count routing directly into LAMA Connect. Now, open LAMA Connect and add a node for your DAW. You do this by right-clicking in the workspace and choosing LAMA ASIO Reaper.exe. If you did not select the LAMA ASIO in your DAW as the driver beforehand, you will not be able to select it, as it will not show up. When the node is active, it appears blue. If it turns red, the connection is lost. I will show you later in this video how to configure the I/O. Now we have our DAW connected, let's move on to setting up our NDI streams. NDI is a protocol for sending video and audio over IP. With LAMA Connect, we've improved NDI audio by supporting up to 256 channels per stream or 255 channels when using NDI Bridge. This makes it ideal for transmitting large channel counts over a local network or over the internet using NDI Bridge. In this example, we will stay in the same subnet network, but you can watch our other video on how to create a cloud setup on our YouTube channel. You will also find the link in the description of this video. To send audio via NDI, right-click in the workspace and select a LAMA NDI Sender node. This will allow us to create an NDI stream available for every system on our network. You can double-click on the node to configure it. You can name the stream, for example, Out Reaper, so it's discoverable by other systems. If needed, you can select a signal boost of plus 6 dB, plus 12 dB, plus 14 dB EBU level, and plus 20 dB SMPTE level. If you are sending your NDI streams via NDI Bridge, tick the checkbox in order to reduce the stream to 255 channels. This is due to a limitation of NDI Bridge. Then finally click Apply. Now let's receive the NDI stream. Add a new node by right-clicking and selecting LAMA NDI Receiver. This will allow us to receive the NDI stream we created before. In this example, it is on the same computer. But in practice, this could be running on another system with LAMA Connect that is on the same subnet on the network. I can now see and select my Out Reaper NDI stream. You can manually set the buffer size or use Auto Config, which optimizes latency over 20 seconds and chooses the best buffer size that does not cause underruns. The Autofill dropouts tick box fills underruns with old data instead of silencing the stream. With low latencies below 10 to 20 milliseconds, this allows for smoother sounding streams. In this setup, we're only using the audio part of NDI, but LAMA Connect also includes a powerful node called the NDI Merger. The NDI Merger allows you to take the video from any NDI stream on your network and embed your audio from LAMA Connect into it. This creates a new NDI stream that carries both the original video and your updated audio. You can adjust the synchronization by delaying either the audio or the video, depending on what best suits your workflow. Before we route everything together, we will first expand the capacity of some of our nodes. To configure the I/O of a node, I simply right-click on the node and then go to Configure Audio I/O, and a pop-up window will open. Most of the nodes are 16 inputs and 16 outputs channels by default. I start with the DAW node, in this case Reaper. I will expand it to 64 in and out. In the window, on number of buses, I type 64 for in and out and click Apply. You can now see the node has expanded and has 64 inputs and 64 outputs. We will now do this for the LAMA NDI Sender. I right-click on it and select Configure Audio I/O. Let's say that the output from Reaper is, on the first 6 channels, a 5.1 mix, then a stereo mix, and then we will add 16 mono channels more. In this example, we will have a total of 24 inputs on the LAMA NDI Sender. I start with the 5.1. I click here on the 1, I select 5.1 surround and click Apply. We can see the first 6 inputs are created. Then we will add a stereo channel. I click on 2, enable it, and then select stereo, then click Apply. And now the last 16 inputs. I choose Discrete 16 that will allow me to create 16 mono channels, and again click Apply. Now my NDI sender is ready to receive the audio from Reaper. I will do the same for the receiver. Now it's time to route audio. In the grid view, connect your sound card node to Reaper. Back to the graph view. Here I'm sending the 5.1 mix plus the 16 mono channels from Reaper into the LAMA NDI Sender. I want to do something on my stereo mix. You can also add VST plugins in the chain. In this example, I want to add a compressor and a delay before sending it into the LAMA NDI Sender. I will now add the VST plugins in my chain. But you can add whatever VST plugins that you have on your computer. You can scan your computer here. Then we will connect the LAMA NDI Receiver to our monitoring device, which in this example is my sound card, as I want to be able to listen to the stereo mix. I patch it to my sound card to output it on my speakers. I can also see on the surround plugin node that I do have sound. If you have issues with the audio breaking up, it's probably the buffer size of the receiver that is not high enough. I go back to my LAMA NDI receiver and I hit the magic button, namely the Auto Config button. Wait 20 seconds for the configuration to stabilize, and your audio should now sound good. You can also rename nodes for clarity. Just right-click and select Rename Node. This is really helpful when working with large setups. A useful shortcut is to use the Batch Connect feature. By holding Control and dragging, you'll be prompted to select how many channels to connect. That's a basic overview of how to connect your DAW and send and receive audio on your network with NDI. Thank you for your time, and I hope this video was useful. In future videos, we'll continue to cover more advanced workflows in LAMA Connect. Happy audio producing!